All right, so let's begin. I welcome all of you to be here who are here for this webinar today. I'm Anuradha Sant, your host for today, and I welcome you all to this session hosted by the Coaches View, which is a community of coaches from all across the country. This webinar presentation will be for 45 minutes, which will be followed by a 15-minute Q&A. So total time that we anticipate would be for about 1 hour. During the session, we request you to write your questions and comments freely in the chat box. And we would also request you to put your mics on mute, and if possible, even go off camera to prevent any bandwidth issues during the webinar, and also any disturbance to the presenter. We will request you to fill out a brief feedback form at the end of the webinar to collect your feedback, which is super important for us to do. And also during the webinar, there will be some poll questions which I will put across to you as Deepa intends me to do that. So I would request your participation for those as well. As I've mentioned earlier as well, as we are ready to begin, let's know your name, where you're calling in from, and what is that you do in the chat box. And if you've already done that, I thank you a great deal for doing so. So the topic for today's session is unconscious bias, and that itself says a lot. So I will have Deepa, our experienced coach, Deepa Kannan, to take us through that. She's based out of Chennai. Deepa is an executive leadership coach with ACC credentials from ICF. She's a change initiator and a transformation consultant with over 20 years of corporate experience, predominantly in the IT and banking sector. So I'm sure we are in safe hands today. I am super excited to participate in this session today myself. And so without losing another moment, I would like to invite Deepa to take over from here and help us through this session. So over to you, Deepa, and welcome everyone, and welcome Deepa, and thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Anu. So let me get started quickly. We are at 4:05. We'll just have 40 minutes. Okay, welcome all. Today we are in the session of unconscious bias. I know the audience are from different sectors. So this is a 2-hour session. Actually, we usually have along with the workshop, but it has been condensed for an hour. So let me see how best I can do justice to this topic, which is very vast. So this will be the basic session on unconscious bias, and the difference and things like that. We will have some activity also within this 1 hour. So to begin with, how do you see this picture here? Some, yes, it is 4. For some, it is 3. But from our side, we are viewing it from third-person perspective. So we know both sides are correct. And that's the same thing that we are looking at when we are actually talking about bias, where we are not taking on any sides, the left or right, but being in the middle, trying to understand both the perspectives. So today's agenda would be on, we'll look at unconscious bias. We'll look at some statistics, factors that contribute, types, and how can we overcome, and some like examples, and what are benefits that we would get from, we being aware of what an unconscious bias is. And then we'll open it up for questions. So with this, I invite everybody for an activity to begin with. There will be a photo which will be shown for a second. Please observe this photo for a second and answer the question that would be asked in the poll that will be followed after the photo. Anu, are you ready with the first poll?
Yes.
Yeah. Once I flash it for a second, you can start the poll. Here is the photo. Do we have the poll ready, Anu? So may I invite everyone to have this poll filled up based on what you saw in the image. The question here is, what is the color of the shirts that you have seen here, which was like flashed for a second just before? Some of you might be joining late, so probably they might not get the chance to see the photo, but whoever has been the early bird on time would be able to vote for.
So it's going fast. We have about 65% voted. I'll keep it on for another 20 seconds.
Yes.
So it's been a minute, Deepa. Do I end the poll?
Okay, fine then. So then it's fine. We can move on now. In the interest of time.
Do you want to see the results?
Yeah, the results are 62% with red, blue, white, green, black, yellow, and 17% for red, blue, yellow, green, and then followed by black and white, 13%, and then other colors also people have observed. So we'll move on to the next one. If you could close this poll, Anu.
Sure.
Okay, so the next poll is, you're seeing a picture of a person. Can you guess what this person is doing professionally? Can we have the next poll opened up, Anu?
Yes. I am having some issues here.
Me to try?
Yeah.
Okay, now can you see it?
No, not yet, Rajesh.
Okay, now it should be there.
Okay, yeah, I think now we are able to see. Yeah, here it is. So you're seeing a picture. If you could vote for what this person might be doing professionally. I think it is going slow. We will have it only open for 1 minute. In the interest of time, we have many topics and content to be covered. So Anu, after a minute, we can close this and we can move on for the next polling, Anu.
Okay.
Okay, we have mostly college student and fashion designer as the result. Some of them have given small screen short film actress.
Yeah.
And some on ramp model. Then coming the doctor. Scientist is 8% and the least is business 4%. Okay, we'll move on. So if you are ready with the next polling, Anu, then I can flash on the next picture. Guess what this person might be doing. Okay, mostly a student, 80%, and then a sports person and musician, dancer. Okay. The least here is a sailor and entrepreneur. Okay, entrepreneur. Okay, fine. So we'll close this poll at this point in time and move on. This is the next poll. If you could answer the question on when both spouses are working from home in this COVID situation, who do you think would be available anytime to pick up a call from the landline or if a doorbell rings?
Okay.
Okay, I think predominantly it's the wife, 77%. Fine. So this is the last one. May I invite everyone so we can close these polls. We can look at the analysis of the poll in a short time. So the last one that I would like to invite you all is to visualize an entrepreneur, a business person who's running a multi-million-dollar company, who used to travel so often abroad for many countries, attending meetings with clients, and a very busy person. 24 hours, not enough. With a family of 2 kids, if you could visualize this person, let me have the chat box open to see what kind of person you are actually visualizing. In your thoughts, what is the color of that dress or the suit that person is wearing? Can we have your inputs in the chat box? For this one, there's no option. It is an exercise for you to visualize and give your thoughts of what color of dress that person was wearing. Predominantly, I see blue, white, black, gray. Somebody has put Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, blue jeans and t-shirt. Kurta pajamas. Okay. Somebody has said he, she will be, Melvin, I think. He, she will be wearing a navy blue suit. I see red, women are well groomed from Anil. Vicky has mentioned sari. Okay, fine then. We'll stop here. So we will discuss now for a few minutes, next 3-4 minutes, on what we actually got as a result and what actually they are. The first one, what we saw for a second. Okay, so what I was saying is it was a black and white photo, and the shirt colors were just striped out with different colors. So all you saw is a black and white photo, but we got the results as red, yellow, green, blue, black, as well as white. Predominantly, majority of them have actually chosen those colors. And for the second poll that we had, if you would like me to go to the presentation, this woman you saw is actually a businesswoman. She runs a company called Medala. Those who are doing online shopping would be aware of those online coupons, which is the concept of Medala. She is the founder of that. But that was the least option that was chosen, the business option for this women. But predominantly, almost many of them, almost 90% of them have actually chosen something else. Am I audible?
Yes, Deepa, you are very audible.
Am I audible? Okay,
Yes,
fine.
yes, you're audible.
Okay, so yeah, that was with the women that we saw. And for the third poll that we had, where you saw a child, that actually a founder of Me and Bees Lemonade, and she is the CEO of that company. And again, in this case, many of them judged her to be student, sports person. Both of them are entrepreneurs.
And people, there was a request in the chat room saying people also wanted to see the first image because all of them felt that they did see colors.
This is the first image.
So one can see clear colors, Deepa. So I wonder how it is a black and white image.
Anu, if you could see closely, the shirt color is actually black and white only. It is just that the photo has some lines of a different color. So that is why it is being shown as, you're seeing it as an yellow shirt, red shirt, or blue shirt. So it's because that we just had 1 second given to you all. Probably you have to judge within that time and give your option on. But if you take some more time, then probably this will be something that you could look closely with, observe more, and see if it is actually the shirt color or the lines that is in the picture.
So the lines in the picture are red. There's a red grid on top.
Yeah.
But in terms of the t-shirt color, it still is visible. At least I can see it as blue, green. I can even see yellow, and I can see a brownish color. So I don't know.
Actually not. It's black. It's either black, white, or a gray color in between. It's actually a black and white photo. Okay, so let's move on in the interest of time.
Sure.
So we saw the various examples, and predominantly in this case where we had both spouses working, we had a wife who got the maximum number of votes. So we see here, right, we have certain assumptions that we are having, and looking at the appearance, the image, we are coming to some conclusions, and we are taking sides on, okay, what I actually voted for is right. So with that prefix, we'll get into what is actually a bias. So bias is nothing but a stereotype about a certain group of people. Like we saw here, if it is a child, it can be only a student. 77% said it is a student, and only few people said sports person, but not even one person who actually looked for or thought about as a business person. And it's about a prejudice also, which might lead to discrimination, and it's between favoring one against the other, while we have two alternatives. And it is also because of the assumptions that we are making, and it was very clear and evident from what we have been seeing as an activity so far in this 5 exercise that we did now, and it predominantly influences your decision. So what is actually unconscious bias? How do we differentiate between conscious and unconscious? Unconscious is something that it comes unintentionally, automatically, and it comes beyond our active awareness. We ourselves are not aware of that we are getting into the bias. And these are all ingrained from all the beliefs that we have carried over throughout the generations, throughout the time, over decades. And I just wanted to move on.
Just a minute, Deepa, can you make your slides in the presentation mode, please? The slideshow.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Shall we move on? Okay. So we will cover the cycles and covers. First thing is, what is unconscious now can become a conscious bias once we have that awareness. And once we have that awareness, it's our choice to have it get rid of us, or to take it forward to next generation, or over the period of time, which will again become an unconscious bias for someone else and for you also, because you are too ingrained into it that even though you know about it earlier, you are still practicing it, and again it might become an unconscious thing that when you see things, people, lot of perceptions, judgments and assumptions that you make will automatically lead you to unconscious bias. So it's a circle, and it's your choice now to break this circle and bias. But unfortunately, some of them are not able to. If you look at the recent example, that is from yesterday's session. Yesterday we had the newspaper, there was an ad which said a popular fairness cream company, which was in the #1 position in 90s, are going ahead changing their brand name to remove that fair from their brand. This is yesterday's news. So what makes it happen? It was an unconscious bias at one point in time, and then it has come to a conscious bias to them, and it took almost 20 years for them to realize and break the chain and come out of it. So some of the covers that it might come on the unconscious bias, like, people might not be open enough to be saying that we have a bias towards this, but how it comes or how it is being spread is in a way that it comes as safety precautions, it comes as preferences, it comes as care, it comes as priority, or to prevent something. To just quote something like, most of the gender biases come from the aspect of safety precautions, care. I can quote one from my own life, that my boss was actually caring for me, being a young mother in the early part of my career, and was denying an opportunity for travel, mentioning that probably I have an 1-year-old baby and it is hard for me to travel because it will be very difficult to leave the baby and go. And purely it was with good intention, and I could see the care from the boss. But somewhere, somehow, it's actually a bias that we have built over the period of time. So moving on, I just wanted to show some statistics on how we are placed in Fortune 500 companies. 5% of women CEOs in terms of the height. The taller people are with more percentage, shorter or very, very less percentage. And from skin tone, I just wanted to throw the statistics to think over what's happening. This is the data that is shown here. How we interpret it is something that I leave it to you. And what we are trying here in this session is to identify the bias within and around us, and few tips to overcome it. These are some of the factors that contribute to it: your age, education, seniority, gender, mental ability, culture, religion, upbringing, all these things. It could be anything that could contribute for our unconscious bias. So I just wanted to go through some of the bias one by one with some examples so that we understand. It's actually a whole lot of list and we will not be able to cover all in this 1 hour. So a couple of things which we could relate to our day-to-day work environment and personal environment. In-group bias. Say, assume you are in a group of people, and in that group of people, they believe in one thing. And if you are part of the group, though you don't believe in it, or though you don't like it, whatever it might be, just because you wanted to be with that group, you wanted to belong to that group, so you say yes. That's actually an in-group bias. Conformity and confirmation bias is where if you say something, or if others join and say and confirm that actually, yes, that's right, what you're doing is right, and this is the same thing that we also have in our thoughts. If many people come and then say about confirming whatever is your thoughts, then you think, yes, that is the right one. And if you have had enough number of people to support you, then you will start getting into that direction, because you think that there's a set of people who has already said go ahead and confirm that this is the right way to go. Belief bias, this is something with many people carry it on. We believe on something and then we carry it over generations, and all spirituality related things, religious related things, God related things, everything comes under this belief bias. Halo on horns effect. If you see a strength in one person, you start looking at different strengths of that person. And if you see one weakness, you will start looking for more weakness for that person. Negativity and pessimistic bias. This everybody knows. I shouldn't be naming anything, but our news channels during COVID time is the best example for this. Affinity bias is about you looking for, unknowingly, unconsciously, you looking for things that are there in you. You feel so close to that particular thing, so you start looking for the same thing in that the other person. This is something that we need to avoid during recruitment, because for the recruitment, the first thing that has to be put across is what is actually required for the role, instead of looking for what exactly that person is. I'm able to have a connect with that person. Instead, whatever is the requirement of the job is what we need to look for. So affinity bias plays a major role when we do recruitments. Beauty and gender bias, many of us know. I just had one example in the previous slide. So I would like to invite you all for an exercise here to understand bias in a better way and how we can overcome it. If you have to choose 6 people from the passenger list of this, and you are being given the authority to choose and prioritize to bring people from abroad who are stuck due to COVID situation. And if government is arranging for a aircraft, and you have the decision now with you to choose the passenger list, but only 6 can be chosen by you. Who would you choose between these 12? So we'll have a few minutes for you to go through the slide and put your preferences and choices. Think over and have it in the chat box. Anu, are you able to see the chat box?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have one answer so far. So can Paralympic champion be also mother of 2-year-old?
Okay.
Young mother with kid, there is.
For some reason, I'm not able to see the chat box. Let me get out of.
So Rajiv has said 1, 5, 7, and 12. So there are different permutation combinations of options people are saying.
Okay.
So there, in fact, there are all combinations possible. 2, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 11, 1, 2, 5, 7, and 12. So you think of a combination and it's there.
I think 1, 2, and 5 are the most common ones.
Okay, fine. So it's good because we are running out of time. I think we might have to move on. I see different combinations, and 1 is almost there in all the combinations. And I'm happy that few of them have brought some questions. Can 1 and 7 be the same? And is young mother with 2-year-old, or they in separate locations? So some of them are clarifying, which is good to see. To be frank, This could be an option of 1 and 7 being the same, 2 and 8 being the same, 3 and 9 being the same. The left 6 and the right 6 might be almost the same people. So if you have chosen something from left and the corresponding in the right, probably you are slightly inclined towards those options. So that's something that you might have to revisit and think about how and what actually makes you to choose those options. And the moment when something has been given to you as an authority for you to choose, what stopped you from asking more questions, asking more information? I see 2 of them have actually come back, asked for more information. Are they in different location? That's a good question to analyze on. And are they the same? Some got it actually. But predominantly, if you look at, many of us have actually inclined towards certain options, which is there, like we need to be very, very cautious about. So having said that, how are we going to overcome that? We still have something in our mind. Like if you look at all those activities, exercises we did so far, the first 5, we still had some biases towards, and this activity of the COVID aircraft still has some bias in us. How are we going to overcome that? The best thing to do is to do a self-coaching. Before we think about judging others and trying to come to a conclusion, why don't we actually look for more data? Take more time. What's actually preventing us taking that time? So some of the self-coaching questions that we ask ourselves before we get into some sites saying, this is what I choose, this is what I'm going to be, before making any decisions, like just to understand that we don't have any bias and we are not biased. How open am I to unlearn and learn about myself and also others? We have been brought up with a lot of beliefs and other environments, culture. How do I actually unlearn all those things and be open to learn about myself and about others? What other alternate approaches can I have? Which we saw actually in one of the person asking for, are they in different location? Clarifying. How can I be avoiding myself being judgmental? We saw that some of us are very judgmental in having, looking at the image, this person would be a model, ramp walk, actress, and looking at a child, and nobody voted as a business person, but actually the child is the CEO of a Me and B Lemonade. How can I avoid being judgmental? And how do I actually engage with a dialogue and expand my options? Just because I've been asked to do something, it's not that you have to do without clarifying it, without asking for it. Engaging on the dialogues would definitely help us actually. We can think about how we can open up the dialogues, expand the options. And what would it take for me to take that time and analyze? Because one thing that was surprising me is none of them came back in the first time when I said there will be a picture shown for a second and then you might have to choose the color of the shirts. Nobody asked for, okay, more time. How can I buy that time for me to think through, for me to look for more information, for me to analyze? And what stops me from asking for that time? And how about involving diverse people? Say, for example, we might not have all the time, but we can have those people who are diverse in nature with us to provide those inputs. And we cannot be thinking on behalf of all of the diverse people. Definitely, the thought of the diverse people will help us make some decisions. And what stops me from actually having that diversity in my team? And finally, how open are we to take a chance and experiment? This is not going to be a change that's going to happen, over the night. It's going to take time, and it's a chance and experiment that we have to do. And how open are we? If you're recruiting 100 people, how many of them I can take a chance and try experimenting? And if I fail for one time, why don't I try again? Without being judgmental with just that one time failure. So these are some of the questions that we could ask ourselves before getting into anything judgmental or before getting into the decision. And when we ask all those things, ultimately it will lead to some consciousness. Actually, if we have the unconscious bias, then we will start moving towards the conscious bias by having that awareness, and that will help us in discriminating behaviors. And it will actually challenge our automatic patterns. And if you see somebody having that bias, subtly ask these questions to them also, rather than just putting it as a statement or putting it as a judgmental one. Just ask them this question of how open they can be. What's required for them to take more time? And that's, believe me or not, that's going to actually help us in greater equity, diversity, and inclusion, more innovation, productivity, and creativity, because we will have a diverse set of people. It helps in relationship building, because you will be able to understand many people's perspective if you are neutral without inclining towards. So some of the situations where we faced this thing, I just wanted to reflect back on what all things that has happened in my life that I could relate to. One, I said the travel opportunity that was actually missed out. One on recruitment, which we discussed. All these are the areas wherein we could see the bias happening. We cannot change the world unless we change first. And what we can do is in our control. We can think about how I can work on eliminating my own bias and living it that way and spreading that energy. In fact, 2 days before, I read that a popular matrimonial website has removed skin color from their filter based on somebody posted it in Facebook. They just wrote it down, saying that this site is asking for a skin color of the bride or groom in their website. Unless it is brought then it's very, very difficult to fix it. It's good that at least, when the petition was filed and, it was brought it up in media, they have immediately removed it. But guess what? They mentioned preferences from parents as a reason. That's the cover that they have used. So, last but not the least, the optimism bias. With the current COVID situations coming up, being too much of optimistic thing is also a bias. So it's better to be neutral, accept things as it comes, be prepared, and stay safe. Here comes to the end of the session. Your takeaways from the session and any insights that you have got, anything that you could relate within you.
So thank you, Deepa. Thank you for this enlightening session. Please feel free to ask your questions in case you have any questions or clarifications.
Yeah, Melvin, to your question, there are different types of bias. There is almost, I could not even count. There are a lot of bias, perception bias. There's a lot of other biases also that's there, but I couldn't spend more time on that. So I just mentioned a few things.
I have a question, Deepa, if you'd allow me.
I mean, who's this?
My name is Prabir.
Hi, Prabir.
Hi, Deepa. Should I ask?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
So, I mean, these biases that you talked about really revealing. I mean, in terms of the public sector workers like the police or the traffic police, they have also their sort of biases wherein, they treat people differently depending on how they appear to them. So how can we raise a greater public, what should I say, a greater consciousness in terms of how they should treat objectively and not really go by just the appearances or how somebody looks like, right? So, I mean, how can this be a much more vibrant conversation?
So this is something that you would like to bring it up, right?
Yeah. Deepa, 1 second. So before you answer the question, I'm mindful of the time. So I'd also like to launch the feedback poll. And Rajiv, if you could go ahead and do that, you could launch the feedback poll. And as people are answering that, you could also refer to the questions. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Deepa.
Yeah, so with the bias that we're talking about, yeah, there was a recent incident in Chennai that today all the grocery shops are all closed. There was one example that I could relate to when you mentioned biases that because of police personnel who's actually harassing the traders and the milk suppliers in this lockdown. So first thing is, are we understanding each person's emotional well-being at this point in time? So this is a situation where we are in, where most of us are in an fluctuating moods. The environment is not so conducive. So how understanding are we on other people's biases or where they come from? And how do we know that this is happening with all of them? I know there is some instances that has happened and happening. So are we generalizing it for the entire set of police personnel? So all we could do is, from our side, we have to do the self-analysis of, am I biased looking at one instance, two instances, out of how much ever cases that's happening every day? I know actually, unless until you go through that, it's very, very hard to experience it because we are on the other side and they are on the other side. Just being neutral about it, not getting to, all police personnel are harassing. Getting to one side is the bias that we are having. So as a third person, we just have to observe. And if we are impacted, why don't we try to understand the other person's perspective? Okay, Anu, is there any other questions that I had to? And thanks, Manish, sir, for lots of biases list.
Yeah, I think there are lots of appreciation for you, Deepa. As I scroll down, I think some of the comments are coming very fast.
Yeah. So one thing for sure, actually, I saw that comment also here, like everybody has bias. I'm not saying that only few people has or few people don't. Everybody has, or everybody might not also have. So all we need to do is just observe and try to be neutral by understanding the other's perspective and not being judgmental. And if we are actually leaning towards one side, just think over, step back, and do that self-coaching within ourselves before we come to a conclusion or judgment about others. Unless that awareness comes to us, I think it's difficult for us to move forward. There's no point in blaming the world, and we are part of the world actually. If we are blaming the world, and we are blaming ourselves. So looking inward is the only option.
Yeah. Thanks,
and if
Deepa.
you find to something, you can expose it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over to you, Anu.
Yeah. So we have about 78%, 81% who've completed the poll. So I'd request everybody else to do that as well. And as you're doing that, I would like you to, I'd like to invite you to log into our website, which is www.coachesforyou.in, and register for all our future webinars under the events tab. Our next webinar, which is going to be a very special one, which is going to be on the 4th of July at 11:30 a.m. And this is a departure from our usual timing. So we have it at on 4th of July at 11:30 a.m. And this is part of a special series that we started about coaching awareness. And this webinar is going to be for 1.5 hours and is going to cover everything about coaching that you wanted to know in terms of what is coaching, what does it do for you, the benefits, and so on and so forth. So we are packing it in answered around what you feel coaching is and what it could be. So we would be very happy if you could join in for that. The event is already up on the website. So I would request you to go to the Coaches for You website and register for this event, and also look at some of the exciting resources that we have for you, which are articles and blogs. And you could also have a great opportunity of registering for a free coaching session. And if you're a coach, you could also volunteer as a coach within the CFI community. So with that, I'd like to thank Deepa for her beautiful session with all the understanding and learning that she provided us. And I'd like to thank each one of you to have come here and spend your time with us. And hopefully it was a useful use of your time. And we look forward to having you again. So with that, thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Rajesh, for helping us out in the background. And thank all of us. Thank all of you to be here with us. And with that, I'd like to close the session and hope to see you again on 4th of July at 11:30 a.m. Thank you and bye-bye.